As I said, welcome to the Art of Undieting webinar. My name is Monica Woolridge and I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. I'm also, busy writing the book called The Art of Undieting. So it's super exciting times for me. We're looking at publishing towards the beginning of next year, maybe February, March. So it's super exciting times for me. I can see a few more people joining me. So thank you so much for joining me. So before we start, there are just a few things that I would like to mention. Last night I received this email saying that, an email from Eskom saying that, there's pressure on the power supply. So first thing first, if something happens, if you lose me or if I lose you, just try and get back on again. I will try my best to get back on again. If the worst case scenario and something happens and I can't connect with you guys, please keep an eye on your inbox. I will reschedule as soon as possible, but nothing is going to happen. Just making sure, we're okay on that. Then as we go through the webinar, please feel free to ask questions in the chat box. I'll keep an eye on the chat box, but I normally prefer to answer the questions at the end of the session. So if you have a question, just type it in. Don't worry, I will get to it as we go through the presentation. And then that was basically it. Okay, are you guys ready to start? Let's start. For those of you who've just joined, my name is Monica Woolridge and I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, and I'm also the creator of the program, The Art of Undieting. So let's jump straight into it. I am going to share my screen with you, so just give me a second, please. Okay, there you go, The Art of Undieting. Okay, so I'm going to start today with a very controversial statement. If you are here to lose weight, you are at the wrong place. Now, before you close your computer, close Zoom and walk away because you're here to lose weight, please, I ask you to give me 30 minutes of your time to explain why I'm saying, if you're here to lose weight, you're at the wrong place. Okay, so some of you might ask yourself, why do I need to care about the art of undieting? I'm healthy, I try to eat healthy, my family is relatively healthy, I'm physically active, I'm doing okay. Why do I need to care about the art of undieting? Well, the answer to that is, life is not about not being sick or not being overweight or not being depressed. Life is about thriving. Most people have absolutely no idea how good their bodies are supposed to be feeling. Life is about thriving. Life is about becoming the best healthy version of yourself. It's not about not being overweight or about being okay. It's about thriving. So let's jump straight into the 10 secrets to the art of undieting. Secret number 1, it's more than just the food we eat, okay? It's more than just the food you eat. So you get 2 types of food, primary food and secondary food. Secondary food is the actual food on your plate. That's what you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Now, primary food is the softer issues like career, relationships, spirituality, physical activity, finances. Now, the whole idea is that your primary food overrides your secondary food. Yes, it's important to have a healthy diet. Yes, it's important to eat those healthy foods and those greens. But if your primary food are out of balance, you're going to struggle to be healthy and you're going to struggle to lose weight. Let's look at a few examples. Let's say you have a job, a 9-to-5 job that you absolutely hate. You cannot stand it. You're overworked, overstressed. It doesn't provide you with any form of purpose or satisfaction. You dread going back to the office or going back to work on Mondays after the weekend. You dread going back to the office or after holidays. You absolutely cannot stand your job and you are constantly overstressed and overworked. Now, it doesn't matter how many green juices you drink or how many salads you eat. If you don't change that stress in your life, You're going to struggle to be healthy, and you're going to be struggling to lose the weight. Let's look at another example, perhaps a little bit more extreme. When you're in an abusive relationship, it doesn't matter how many smoothies you drink or how many salads you eat or plates of veggies you eat. You're going to struggle to lose weight, and you are going to struggle with your health. Primary food overrides secondary food. Yes, it is absolutely critical to have a healthy diet, but if you do not pay attention to your primary foods, it will undermine all the progress you make when it comes to eating. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Primary food's enemy number one is stress. That is absolutely true. Let's look at what happens in the body when you are stressed. So when you are stressed, your body perceives the stressor as a threat, and your adrenal glands releases adrenaline and cortisol to assist you to either fight or flight. We all know that, the moment you stress, that fight or flight hormones are triggered, and those hormones enable you to either fight or flight, run away from the threat, okay? So what the adrenaline does, the adrenaline increases your heart rate, elevates your blood pressure, and boosts your energy supplies, preparing your body to fight or flight. The cortisol, on the other hand, releases sugar or glucose and fats into your blood to be used by your muscles, once again, to either fight or flight. Now, you also crave sugary stuff because your body thinks it needs additional sources of energy, and sugar is the quickest source of energy. Very important, insulin is then released to regulate the high levels of blood sugar in your body, or glucose in your body. And when insulin is high, the excess sugars in your body is converted to fat and stored around your organs. And to make matters worse, you crave more food because you don't have access to your sources of energy. It's now being stored around your organs. Stress also slows your metabolism. It leads to emotional and binge eating. And then perhaps the most important one, stress curbs your non-essential systems. What that means is when you're chronically stressed or when you stress, your non-essential systems like your digestive system and your immune system is being turned down so that your body can focus on either fighting or flighting from this threat, okay? When the threat is past, when it's gone, those non-essential systems are switched back on again. So that is why so many people get sick when they're stressed. Your immune system is being switched down, or struggle with tummy issues. Your digestive system is being switched down. And the problem is when people are chronically stressed, those non-essential systems are constantly turned down. And if you combine all of this, you have a ticking time bomb of disease and unhealthy issues and struggles to lose weight. Okay, does that make sense, everyone? Secret number 2. We are all different, okay? So based on your gender, your age, your level of activity, your ethnic background, your blood type, your lifestyle, your taste, even your religion, we are all different. And not one thing will work for everyone. Let's look at a few examples. How often does the following happen with you? You have a friend that went on this or that diet. She's looking absolutely amazing. She lost 10 kgs. And you go to your friend and say, give me the rules of the diet. I want to do what you're doing. Then you go through all the rules and you implement it. You follow it to the T. And then a month later, what happens? Absolutely nothing. You don't lose the weight, and you cannot understand what are you doing wrong. I used to be that person, that asked for those diets, trying to lose weight, and not losing the weight and getting frustrated. But the truth is we're all different, and what works for you or friends might not necessarily work for me or for you. We're all different, and it's up to us to figure out what works for us. So another very good example is I don't know if you guys have seen it's a documentary movie called The Game Changers. Now, The Game Changers is all about professional athletes going plant-based to increase their performance. Now, if you think back to a few years ago, people still believe that you have to have animal protein if you're an athlete. Your body needs the protein to build muscles. Now, this documentary series is proving that wrong. And what's cool about the documentary is that it features famous athletes like Novak Djokovic and Lewis Hamilton and even Arnold Schwarzenegger. And they're all basically endorsing going plant-based to increase your performance. Now, guess what's happening? This movie has like a cult-like following, and a lot of people, not necessarily athletes, are starting to go plant-based. But what's happening is that a lot of people who are going plant-based are not experiencing those benefits that the movie is referring to. Now, the question is, does that make Novak Djokovic and Lewis Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all the rest of the celebrities on the movie liars? Of course not. The point is, a plant-based diet will work for some people, but for other people, it won't. Some people who turn plant-based lose focus, they lose energy, they struggle with their health. You don't experience those benefits that the plant-based people are talking about. It's because we are all different, and it's your responsibility to figure out what is right for you and your body. Okay, now the question is then, does the perfect diet exist? There's so many diets out there. Does the perfect diet exist? Of course the perfect diet exists, but my perfect diet will look very different to your perfect diet and your friend's perfect diet. Once again, it's your responsibility to figure out what works for you, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, secret number 3. It's not complicated. So many people come to me and say, this is so complicated. I don't know what to do anymore. You know, should I do low fat, high fat, no fat? A lot of people are now saying fat is good for you. Should I go low carb, high carb? Are grains bad? You know, should I go plant-based? Should I go carnivore? You know, what about ketogenic? That's the latest craze. Or intermittent fasting. You know, should I have 3 big meals a day, or should I have 5 small meals a day? There's so much information out there, and the people who are giving you the information really believe in what they're doing. Now, here's the truth. It's not complicated. All you have to do is to look at the few diets that are really healthy to see what they have in common. So let's look at a few. Let's perhaps start with the vegan diet. Now, the vegan diet is the ultimate plant-based diet. No form of animal protein is eaten, and not even honey. So the plant-based diet, if you look at the image for the vegan diet, you know, it consists of lots of veggies, fruit, it consists of whole grains, and healthy fats. Now, the true vegan diet this is not a plate of potato chips with vegan nuggets or a vegan patty or a vegan burger. It's a real, delicious, colorful food. Okay, so let's move over to the other picture, the image of the Banting diet. Now, the Banting diet, once again, real, unprocessed whole food. You don't see any packaging or any processed food here. The Banting diet, very famous, made famous by Tim Noakes in South Africa. It's a low-carb diet, but it includes lots and lots of veggies, moderate amounts of proteins, good quality fat, and very little fruit, and then also absolutely low on carbs, no whole grains. But here's the thing, if you compare these two, once again, there aren't any boxes. This is a real food. So if you are still confused of the difference between processed and real food, let's look at an example. For instance, let's use a banana versus banana flavored cereal. Now, a banana is a banana. It doesn't have a fancy box that it comes in. It doesn't have a list of ingredients. It is the ingredient. Now, if you compare that to banana flavored cereal, for instance, the banana flavored cereal will have a fancy box. Very nice bright colors to draw the eye. It will have a long list of ingredients. Half of those ingredients you wouldn't be able to pronounce, all sorts of additives and preservatives, and if you're lucky, it will contain a few pieces of dried banana. Now that's the difference between real food and processed food. Real food doesn't need a list of ingredients or fancy packaging. It is the ingredient, real delicious food. Okay, let's look at a few more examples. The ketogenic diet, very popular at the moment. It's extremely high in fat, good quality fat. A lot of people follow this diet, but it also includes moderate amounts of proteins. It includes veggies, but extremely low on the carbs, okay? But once again, no processed food there. Then lastly, the Mediterranean diet, which is perhaps the more balanced diet out of all of these. It includes delicious, moderate portions of animal protein, some whole grains, some fruit, veggies, and of course, healthy fats. Now, here's the thing. What do these diets have in common, okay? So, first thing, always fill half your plate with veggies. It's quite simple, right? Then have fruit as a sweet treat. And then most importantly, have unprocessed real food. Food in its most natural form, without labels and a list of ingredients. Have that banana and not the banana flavored cereal, ice cream. And then of course, drink lots of water. So if you do these 4 things, you start off by doing these 4 things, you're already off to a great start. Some people might add good healthy fats, other people might add some whole grains, other people might add some animal proteins, but this is the basic thing what those 4 diets that are perceived to be healthy have in common. And if you really think about it, it's not complicated. Deep down, we all know what we should be eating. Real, unprocessed, delicious food, and always fill half your plate with veggies. Okay. Secret number 4, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Okay. So how often does this happen? You will wake up in the morning with a migraine or headache. You will reach to your bedside table, pop a few aspirins, and you will feel better. But how often do we just slow down and pay attention by asking ourselves, why am I having this headache? Perhaps it was because I didn't drink enough water the last few days. Perhaps it's because I'm overstressed at work. Perhaps it's because I ate 2 bowls of ice cream last night. Listen to your body. Your body has the ability to let you know what it needs, and it has the ability to let you know when it's not happy. To give you a good example of my own personal life, I used to train or exercise in the mornings. Early, would get up early, and then I would go out and exercise. I would feel great exercising. I got into a habit and a routine. I would do that every day, or at least 3 to 5 times a week. Then what started happening was that come 10, 11 o'clock, I would be tired. I would be hungry all day, and I would be so tired. I would want to go for a nap. And I couldn't understand what is wrong. What I then did is I changed. I started training in the afternoons. My body told me that the morning training is not working for me. I changed it to the afternoon, and I feel absolutely fantastic, you know? So listen to your body. If you, for instance, if people tell you that you need to manage your stress, meditation is the best thing for stress management, but you just simply don't like meditation and you can't get yourself to sit through a 20-minute meditation session, don't do it. Find something that works for you. Listen to your body. You know, go for a walk in nature, do a hobby, paint, any form of art. Find something that your body enjoys. Listen to your body. Your body has the ability to let you know what works for it. It has the ability to let you know, when you're hungry. Eat when you're hungry. Step down or rest when you're tired. Step back when you feel overwhelmed. Listen to your body. So, secret number 5. Dieting does not work, plain and simple. And we all kind of know this, right? You wouldn't be listening to me today if you thought that dieting works. Now, the problem with dieting is that it is restricted eating, plain and simple. To be successful at losing weight on a restricted eating plan, you need to train yourself to ignore feelings of hunger. So how crazy is that? We just spoke about Listen to your body, the power of listening to your body. But when you're on a diet, it teaches your brain to ignore your body. It teaches you to not listen to your body, to ignore your body. And you rely on the rules of the diet to decide what, when, and how much to eat, and not on what your body tells you. How often have you been on a diet and you're starving, you're so hungry, but the rules are telling you, I'm not allowed to eat now, or I'm only allowed to eat this much, you can't eat now. So dieting also drains your willpower and promotes binging when you run out of willpower for the day. It slows your metabolism and promotes fat storing. It's just not sustainable, and it promotes unhealthy eating habits. Dieting doesn't work. Simply doesn't work. Okay. Secret number 6. Love what you eat. This is so important. Love what you eat and eat what you love. I don't know if any of you have ever had friends or family members that do bodybuilding. Now, what these bodybuilders would do, both men and women, is when they prepare for competition, they would eat a chicken breast and steamed broccoli every meal for days, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. And if they're lucky, they would include brown rice or whole grain rice. Now, those guys, the bodybuilders, they were in good shape. They were looking fantastic. But if you look them in the eye, you can actually see how miserable they were from eating broccoli, chicken, and rice every single meal. Now, as a meal, there's nothing wrong with that meal. There is a healthy meal. But if you don't like it, or if you eat every single meal for weeks, that is when you're going to start hating what you eat. You should never hate what you eat. When you look down at your plate, you should always be loving the experience. Let's look at a few examples. So if you look at junk food for what it is simply brown. Junk food is brown. Yes, those chips and those nuggets taste nice when you eat it. But 5 minutes later, you're going to struggle with indigestion, you're going to feel bloated, and you're going to feel lethargic and struggle to focus. Now, if you compare that to a beautiful, colorful plate of a protein, some arrow and some greens and colorful veggies, now that is delicious, you know. And if that specific plate that I'm trying to illustrate to you is not your thing, just try and imagine your favorite veggies with your favorite good quality fat and your favorite protein, you know, and compare that to junk food. Which one is more appealing? Which one makes you smile? Another example, if you don't like celery juice, or if you don't like a smoothie or a green smoothie, don't have one. Make yourself rather a beautiful blueberry smoothie made with some coconut yogurt, frozen blueberries, a dash of honey, a dash of vanilla. It's absolutely fantastic. It's yummy and delicious and will keep you satisfied. Another example, if you don't like Brussels sprouts, it doesn't matter what any expert tells you or what any diet tells you, don't have Brussels sprouts. You know, make yourself a delicious whole wheat wrap with some roasted cauliflower and some avocado. You know, I dread just thinking of the days when, you know, we all used to eat those soups. You would make a soup with lots of cabbage in it, and you would have that soup for so many meals. It's so sad thinking back to those times. It wasn't delicious, and you ate it over and over again. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. Then if you're the person who likes your toasted sandwich in the mornings, but you feel bloated a few minutes after eating it, and you're struggling to focus, just make a few tweaks, you know, have a beautiful slice of rye bread or seed loaf with some smashed avocado, a beautiful poached egg. It's a delicious, yummy, toasted meal, but it will keep you going all morning and you will feel fantastic. And it also doesn't mean that you can't have sweet treats. I get it, you know, a donut tastes amazing for those few seconds that you're eating it. But shortly after eating it, you're feeling blah, you're feeling terrible, you know, heartburn, feeling bloated, and you get so lethargic, you know. But replace that with beautiful fresh slices of apple topped with a beautiful nut butter, and it's still a delicious sweet treat, but it's healthy, and you're going to feel absolutely amazing. Okay, guys, so that makes sense. Love what you eat and eat what you love. Okay, secret number 7, having an abundance mindset. Now, a lot of people look at me a bit strange when I mention abundance mindset when it comes to eating or when it comes to health. You know, before I explain, let's quickly look at what a abundance mindset is and what's the opposite of abundance mindset. Now, abundance mindset is basically people who look at life, or people whose glass is half full. When you all know those people. They're always happy and they always look at the bright side of things. Now, the opposite of abundance mindset is a scarcity mindset. And that's typically people that their glass is half empty, they're always negative and always identify, things that's not working well for them. Now, let's look at a few examples, for instance. If you look at finances, for instance, someone with an abundance mindset with finances will believe that there's enough money for everyone, you're always going to have enough money. You'll have enough money to buy what you need, to buy what you want. And people with a scarcity mindset when it comes to money believes that, they're always going to struggle. There's never going to be enough money. Another example, perhaps, when it comes to relationships, someone with an abundance mindset when it comes to relationships will believe that, I deserve love. I'm worthy of love. I have great relationships in my life. I love people and people love me. Someone with a scarcity mindset when it comes to relationships will believe that I'm not worthy of love. People are disappointing. People will hurt me. Now, here's the truth is 99.9% of the time, whatever your mindset is, that's what materializes in your life. If you have an abundance mindset, abundance materializes in your life. If you have a scarcity mindset, that is what your life is like. Now, how do we relate this back to food? I want to ask you a question. What type of mindset do you think dieting promotes? When you're on a diet, what type of mindset does it promote? Let's look at this image. On the right-hand side, the plate with a salad leaf and 2 pieces of tomato, that is what you eat when you're on a very strict diet. And if you look at that diet, that plate, you feel sad, you feel depressed, and you have a scarcity mindset. You know you're going to be hungry after eating it. You know it's not going to taste nice. You don't even like the food. You have a scarcity mindset. Now, someone that's on a diet, to them, if you look at the other picture with the hamburger and the pizza and the potato chips, now that is where real abundance lies. It's delicious. There's lots of food and you cannot wait to eat that delicious yumminess. But unfortunately, in your world, you are destined to eat this little sad plate of veggies. Now, dieting promotes a scarcity mindset. But here's the thing. If you change the way you look at food, and this is the super, super important thing. If you change the way you look at food, and if you look at your food of plate, and you ask yourself the question, what is this plate of food provide me with? What do I get from it? If I look at my plate of food, look down, whenever you prepare a meal, look at your plate of food and ask yourself, what do I get from it? Then it completely changes the picture. If you then look at the plate of deep fried potato chips, there's very little nutrients in there. Yes, it tastes nice, but you're going to feel bloated, you're going to feel lethargic, you're going to struggle with heartburn, you're not going to have energy, you're going to struggle to focus. Look at that plate and ask yourself, what do I get from it? Almost nothing. The truth is, everything you get from a plate of junk brown food is not great. It's not going to get you closer to becoming the best healthy version of yourself. And that is where this real scarcity lies. The real scarcity lies in, what do I get from this plate of food? And then if you compare it to the other image, that's where the real abundance lies. When you eat it, it's a beautiful chicken breast with some asparagus and some avocado. It's vibrant, it's colorful, it's delicious, and you're going to eat it and you're going to feel fantastic. You're going to have lots of energy. You're going to be able to focus. Your skin is going to look great. Your hair is going to look great. You're going to just feel fantastic. Now, that is where the real abundance lies. Let's look at another example. With a scarcity mindset, and when you're dieting, you keep on removing food. I'm not allowed to eat this. I'm not allowed to eat that. And you end up with a plate that literally makes you sad, makes you depressed. Okay, if you compare that to abundance mindset and you tell yourself, I'm going to add food to my meal, I'm going to have a good quality protein, I'm going to fill half my plate with veggies, I'm going to have a good quality fat, and I'm going to have this nice, big, delicious plate of colorful, yummy food. That is where the abundance lies. Does it make sense, guys? Okay, secret number 8. Learn from the blue zones. I don't know if any of you have heard of the blue zones. The blue zones are 5 areas in the world that I've identified where people live the longest, but they don't only age well, they are healthy. They're over the age of 100, but they're not on chronic medication. They're still physically healthy. Okay, so when they started the study, they wanted to answer the question, what is the secret to longevity? And they've identified these 5 areas in the world. You know, there's one in California, Costa Rica, Italy, Greece, and Japan. And then what they did is they sent people into these areas to go and live with these people, to learn from them, to see what do these guys do differently? Why are they so healthy? And the results are very interesting. Let's start with the purple one. Move naturally. These guys move naturally. They don't train for marathons or do a CrossFit class or high intensity workout. They move naturally. They walk, they work on their farm, they work in the garden, they walk to their neighbors. They simply move naturally. Then if you go towards the green side, they have a sense of purpose. And then downshift means they slow down, they take it easy, they relax, they breathe, they meditate, they spend time slowing down. And let's quickly go to the other side, to the orange side. They have a sense of belonging. They always put loved ones first, and they find the right tribe. They have the right people around them. Now, there's 9 aspects that they have identified here. We've already gone through 6. 6 out of the 9 aspects are primary food. Remember those softer issues? We haven't even spoken about what they eat. 6 out of the 9 issues are primary food. Now let's look at what these guys eat. If you go to that turquoisey blue greenish color, they have an 80% rule. Now this is a very interesting one. It's not the 80-20% rule that we all like to do, where you say, I'm going to eat 80%, well, I'm going to eat healthy food 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time, I just eat what I want. No, it's not that. These guys eat until they're 80% full. They eat until they're 80% full. So a lot of people ask me, so define 80% full. What does that mean? It simply means that they don't overeat and they avoid going for second helpings. Okay, then plants land, they have lots and lots of veggies in their diets. Always fill half your plate with veggies. Not that these guys aren't all plant-based or vegans. You know, some of them do include good quality animal proteins into the diet, but animal proteins in moderation. And then my absolutely favorite one, they have wine at 5. Every day at 5 o'clock, they have a small glass of wine just to relax, spend time with friends and family, to socialize. And here's the thing, you know, I know South Africans because I'm a South African, and you know, we don't have a small glass of wine, we have a bottle of wine. So, you know, there's a difference, a big difference between having a bottle of wine and having a glass of wine. But once again, how interesting is this? 6 out of the 9 aspects are primary foods. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the food that these guys eat. Interesting, right? Okay, so secret number 9. Find your why. It is absolutely critical to find your why. Ask yourself the question, why am I interested in the art of undieting? Why are you listening to me at the moment? A lot of you will say, because I want to lose weight. And there's nothing wrong with because I want to lose weight. But that's not the real reason. You need to take it further. If you've answered because I want to lose weight, ask yourself again the question, why do I want to lose weight? Then look at your answer. Perhaps your answer is, I want to lose weight because I want to have more confidence, because I want to have more energy to play with my children or grandchildren. then take it one step further. Ask yourself, why do I want to have more confidence? Or why do I want to have more energy? Then perhaps your answer is because I want to create a better life for me and my family. Then you're starting to get closer to the real why. Now, the reason why you need to be strong is when times are tough, when you've had a tough day, you get home and all you want to do is just eat a pizza and 2 bowls of ice cream. When your why is strong enough, when your why is, I want to do this because I want to create a better life for myself and my children, that why will stop you from binging. That why will stop you from making the wrong decisions. But if your why is simply because I want to lose weight, when you had a tough day, you get home and nothing is going to stop you from binging. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, the last secret. Secret number 10, journey versus destination. So I asked you in the beginning about, or I made the statement, if you're here to lose weight, you're at the wrong place. And this is where I'm going to start explaining it to you, okay? So when your goal is to lose weight, say your goal is you want to lose 10 kgs. You're on a journey to a specific destination. That destination is losing 10 kgs. Now you go on a journey, you do whatever you have to do to lose the kilograms, the weight, and then once you've lost it, you're done. What then? You're on a journey, you've reached your destination, you're done. 95% of the people then simply return back to the old ways, and that is one of the big reasons why dieting doesn't work. Now here's the thing, if your goal is because I want to thrive, or because I want to become the best healthy version of myself, there's no destination. You're on a lifelong journey on becoming the best healthy version of yourself. Does that make sense? Weight loss will happen when you're on a health journey. It will automatically melt away. But if your focus of your goal is simply because I want to lose weight, you're going to reach that destination and you are going to stop doing whatever you've done to get there. Okay? The importance of having a goal that's something like, I want to become the best healthy version of myself. You're going to go on a beautiful journey, and each and every single day you're going to improve and become a better person and a healthier person. Yes, your journey is going to go like this. There's no journey that simply just goes up, 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 up. You have your ups and downs, but over time you're going to slowly but surely start becoming the best healthy version of yourself, and you can start thriving. Okay, so the statement that I've started with, if you're here to lose weight, are you at the wrong place? Of course you're not at the wrong place. So many people want to lose weight, but weight loss should not be your goal. Your real goal should be to become the best healthy version of yourself. Okay, so those were the 10 secrets. Let me just quickly grab a water. Okay, so you might ask yourself now the question, how can I implement this into my life? Okay, so I want to tell you guys about the Art of Undieting 8-week challenge. Okay, just quickly want to open the chats, see if there's any questions. The Art of Undieting 8-week challenge. Okay, so in the challenge, you basically are going to, it's an 8-week challenge, you're basically going to learn to undiet. You're going to stop counting calories or weighing your food. You're going to eat for optimal health and performance and immunity, very important in the times we're living at the moment. And you're going to remove inflammatory food from your diet. Food that causes inflammation and that negatively affects your life, you're not going to have. Then you're going to find ways to be physically active. Not necessarily start training for a marathon or start high intensity workouts. You're going to find ways to be physically active, but things that you enjoy, things that make you happy, things that make you feel energized and feeling alive, something that you love. You're also going to eat unprocessed real food. Remember, we spoke about that. The unprocessed real food is the difference between a banana and banana flavored cereal. You're going to learn to listen to your body And then we're going to go to the blue zones and you're going to eat until you're 80% full. Now that simply means don't overeat and, you know, avoid going for second helping unless you're really hungry. And then throughout the process, I'm going to show you how to design the perfect diet for your unique needs. Remember, we're all different. You know, what works for me won't necessarily work for you. But in this 8-week challenge, I'm going to show you how to do this. And then perhaps the most important one, we're going to find ways to manage our stress. You know, if you think back to where I've started, the impact that stress has on our health and our ability to lose weight is absolutely huge. And if you do not pay attention to those primary foods, those things that cause stress in your life, like relationships, career, finances, you know, you're completely going to undermine all the progress you make with your diet. Okay, so what to expect, guys? So it's quite simple. Eat this, not that, right? You're not going to eat junk food. You're not going to eat processed food. You're going to eat delicious, real, yummy, unprocessed food. Okay, so a little bit more in detail, what to expect. How would the 8-week challenge work? Okay, so step 1, remember it's 8 weeks. Step 1, for the first 4 weeks, you're going to strictly remove all processed and inflammatory food from your diet. We're going to go through the list just now. It is super important that you strictly remove these foods because you're going to do a full 4-week detox reset. You're going to make sure that your body is completely clean of anything that negatively affects your health. It's very important to be super clean and to maintain that clean body for at least 4 weeks. Then after the 4 weeks, you're going to reintroduce the food you've removed back into your diet. One food group at a time, but now you're going to start listening to your body. You're going to pay attention and be very aware of how your body reacts to the food, okay? So let's look at an example. One of the things that you're going to strictly remove for the first 4 weeks is dairy. Now, I'll talk about dairy now, why dairy is on that list, but dairy causes inflammation in such a huge percentage of the population, okay? So for the first 4 weeks, you're not going to have dairy. We're going to talk about substitutes, what you can have and what you can have and to replace the dairy with, but you're not going to have dairy. Then, after 4 weeks, you're going to reintroduce the dairy back into your diet. But this is the thing, you're going to reintroduce a good portion and a good quality dairy back into your diet. So after the 4 weeks, you're going to say, okay, I'm dying for some milk. I want to have a cafe latte, or I want to have a nice, big, full fat cappuccino. You've missed your favorite drink, you've missed it. You're going to have it. Then the key is here, then you're going to be very aware of how your body reacts to it. For a lot of people, when they reintroduce the dairy after being clean for 4 weeks, all of a sudden they realize, I start getting a migraine, or my skin is breaking out, or I feel bloated, you know, I have, you know, heartburn, you know, things happen in your body. Your body has now the ability to let you know whether it likes dairy or not, okay? So the key is also, you're not going to, after 4 weeks, go and have a bowl of ice cream. The reason for that is, if you have a bowl of ice cream and your body reacts to it, you don't know whether it's the ice cream, whether it's the dairy, whether it's the sugar, or whether it's the preservatives in that's causing the problems. You're going to reintroduce good quality sources of those things that you've removed from your diet. Does that make sense? And then in step 3, your reintroductions is going to take you about 2 weeks. And then in step 3, you now have the information to create your unique eating plan for optimal health and performance. You're going to work through all those reintroductions. Pay attention to how your body is reacting to those foods. If you show no negative reaction, you know, oh, good, I can include this back into my diet. My body likes it. The moment you start showing a reaction, the moment you get symptoms like, you know, constipation, diarrhea, headaches, struggling to focus, being moody, you know your body is letting you know that it doesn't like that specific food. And that is how you're going to, by the end of week 8, know exactly what is the diet that works for you. And my diet will look very different from your diet. It's a very interesting exercise to do. Okay, so what types of food are you going to eat? You know, what is the good food that for the first week you're going to have in your diet, okay? So first things first, always fill half your plate with veggies. You're going to have lots and lots of veggies, a variety of beautiful, beautiful veggies. Unless you know that you're sensitive to, for instance, some people get joint pain from tomatoes, you're not going to have that, but you're going to have a variety of beautiful, delicious veggies. You're going to eat the rainbow, okay? You're going to have fruit in moderation. You are going to have animal protein, seafood, meats, all those things, any type of protein, but in moderation. This is not a carnivore diet. You're going to have proteins. Proteins got beautiful amino acids, but you're going to have that in moderation. There's chicken, there's poultry, there's all sorts of meats in moderation. You're going to have eggs, and then very important, you're going to have good quality fats, and then herbs and spices to make your meals delicious. Your meals should always be delicious. Remember what you spoke about. Love what you eat and eat what you love. You should always eat delicious food. Now, there are obvious things missing here, right? Very obvious. Okay. First thing, sugar. For the first 4 weeks, you're not going to have any sugar. Not natural sugars, not artificial sugars, not normal white sugar. You're not going to have sugars. Okay. So the reason for that is normal sugar is just not good for you. It's plain and simple, we all know. But here's the thing about natural sugars. Even though there is some nutritional value in, for instance, honey or real maple syrup, your body reacts to these sugars in the same way. Then you get to artificial sugars where your body doesn't react to it that way, but it's still artificial. It's not real food. And the problem with sugar is so many people have a sugar addiction. The idea with the first 4 weeks is to break that sugar addiction. Awesome things are going to happen. You'll see. After 4 weeks, you're going to eat cauliflower. And cauliflower is going to taste sweet. Your taste buds are literally going to change. You're going to eat a beautiful roast sweet potato, and that's going to be so overly sweet. It's incredible how your taste buds change. Say after the 8 weeks, you feel like having a chocolate. You're going to eat that chocolate and you're going to realize it's sickly sweet. You almost cannot stomach it. It's too sweet. And that's the power of removing all sugars, natural and artificial, from your diet for 4 weeks. Then alcohol, you're not going to have alcohol. And then two of the things that the people struggle most with is grains and legumes. Now, grains includes all types of grains. It includes wheat, it includes rye, it includes gluten, it includes rice, oats, all types of grains. And I'm going to explain to you now why we're doing it. And then also legumes. Legumes are typically all the types of beans. It is lentils, it is chickpeas. Okay, so those two you basically exclude for similar reasons. Now, the first thing is grains and legumes are typically very high in carbohydrates and relatively low in nutrients. If you compare grains with veggies, with broccoli, or with a sweet potato, it's also high in grains, but the nutrients in a sweet potato is just so much more than the nutrients in white bread, for instance, okay? So what happens in your body when you're eating too much carbohydrates is, if you think back to the slide we did on the stress, it's carbohydrates and sugar just simply becomes sugar in your body when it's digested. The high levels of sugar will trigger the release of insulin to regulate your sugar levels, and with our insulin is high, the excess sugars, which is the carbohydrates, are converted to fat and stored around your organs. So the first thing is, it's relatively high in carbs, but low in nutrients. The second reason that not a lot of people realize is grains and legumes are very high in lectins. Now, lectins is a plant protein. There are two types of lectins that are problem makers in humans. So the one is agglutinins and prolamins. Now what lectins do is, lectins are the natural defense mechanism of a plant. So what happens is, a plant wants to continue existing. So what it wants to happen is, when an animal or a human eat the seed of the plant, the seed is extremely difficult to digest. So the animal or the human won't digest the seed. You will basically eat it, poo it out, and replant the seed. And that is how the plant protects itself, by making the seeds, the lectins in the seeds, make it very difficult to digest. Now, that is the reason why so many people struggle with digestive issues when it comes to grains and legumes, because of the plant's natural defense mechanism. It's almost impossible to digest the seeds. Another way how plants do this is, when an animal or human eat the seed literally makes that animal or human sick, so that the animal or human do not eat the seed again. Another way the plant is protecting itself. I don't know if you guys know, but there are types of beans that it's illegal to sell the beans or to give the bean to people to eat, unless it's cooked at extremely high temperatures and at extremely high pressure, because the lectins are literally so toxic. So this is the reason why for the first 4 weeks we're not going to have grains and legumes in your diet. Then dairy, another one that a lot of people struggle with. You know, a majority of the population has intolerances when it comes to dairy. It's because of, you know, lactose intolerance, whey intolerance, casein intolerance. You know, so many people react to milk. A lot of people ask me, so, you know, what about milk? And even if I reintroduced it back into my diet and I'm okay, does that mean I can have it? Of course you can have it. But here's the thing about milk that I always say, and it's perhaps a little bit more extreme than most people would think. Yes, it's good sources of calcium. And there's lots of veggies and other fruits that's also high in calcium. But yes, it's got nutritional value. But in essence, milk is made for calves, for baby cows, okay? It's not made for humans. Over the years, the human has adjusted to be able, a lot of people have the ability to digest it, but it's not made for adults. It's not made for humans, and it's not made for adults. You know, we won't feed adults breast milk, but yet we have a breast milk for cows. It doesn't make sense at all. But I'll give it to dairy. It is a good source of calcium. But having said that, there are many, many other foods that are just as high in calcium. Then unhealthy fats like margarine. Margarine is a big no-no. Then also vegetable oils, you know, your typical, your sunflower oil, your canola oil, your grapeseed oil, all those things you're going to exclude for the first 4 weeks. Now, the reason for that is as follows. Okay, margarine on the one side is just terrible. It's just absolutely toxic and terrible. You should never, ever, ever have margarine again. But when it comes to these vegetable oils, it doesn't include olive oil. Olive oil is perfectly fine, as well as coconut oil. But your typical vegetable oils like your canolas and your sunflower oils. Okay, so here's the thing, the problem with those things is, those oils are extremely high in omega-6, okay? So our bodies, there's nothing wrong with omega-6. Our bodies need omega-6. But here's the thing. The perfect ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is 1:1, or worst case scenario, 4 omega-6 to 1 omega-3. Now, the problem with omega-6 is it's absolutely everywhere. It's in chicken, it's in eggs, it's in grains, it's in veggies, absolutely everywhere. So most people, that ratio is not close to 1:1 or 4:1. It's more like 24:1. And when that ratio is out of balance, it is believed that the omega-6s becomes inflammatory in your body. So that is why we're going to exclude those vegetable oils from your diet. And then lastly, you're going to not have any additives, preservatives, all those chemicals that's in packaged goods that you can't pronounce. It includes things like MSG or carrageenan. All those things is literally not real food, and it's not good for you. And then the last thing, you're not going to weigh yourself. I want you, if you have bathroom scale, you're going to take that bathroom scale and chuck it out of the window. It's such a bad way of measuring progress, you know, especially for women. It all depends on what time of the month it is. It depends on whether you have too much water to drink, whether you have too little water to drink. Your weight will fluctuate, and it will make you give up thinking that you're not making progress. So you're not going to weigh yourself. We are going to, however, expect you to measure yourself, taking body measurements around your arms, your chest, your waist, as well as your hips. Okay, guys, so this is a sample day, what you're going to have. This doesn't look like dieting food, right? It's delicious, it's colorful, it's beautiful, it should make you excited. For breakfast, you know, a beautiful omelette with some beautiful veggies, your favorite type of veggies, some tomato, avocado, some olives. And then for lunch, you can make yourself a beautiful salad. And now in the winter, it's nice to have a beautiful veggie soup with nice, good quality protein, and not even to talk about stews. And then for dinner, you know, think a beautiful chicken curry, a butter chicken made, served with some salsa on the side, and served with some beautiful cauliflower and broccoli rice. Absolutely delicious. This is not diet food. This is food that should excite you. So what is included in the 8-week challenge? Okay, so you're going to have access to a membership site. I'm going to go through the details just now. There are going to be 5 live group workshops. You're going to get an eating plan and guide. You're going to get 8 additional guides. There's also going to be a private Facebook group or WhatsApp, depending on how many people sign up. And then there will be daily motivation and accountability coming from me. That's such an important one. A lot of people struggle with plans because there's very little accountability. Okay, so the membership site. You're going to, when you sign up, you're going to immediately get an email with your login details. You're going to, with a link and your username and your password, and you're going to be able to log into the Art of Undieting membership site. On this website, you know, it's for members only, and you will have access to absolutely everything you need to know. You know, what you need to do before you start the challenge. A week by week guide of what you should be doing. There's the food list, shopping lists, meal templates, recipe ideas, more information on the workshops. Absolutely everything you need to prepare and to successfully complete the 8-week challenge will be on the membership site, and you will have access to the membership for the duration of the 8 weeks. Okay, then there's going to be 5 live group workshops. Now these are absolutely super important. The first session is going to be similar to what we're doing now, a Zoom session, and it's only going to be for the people who sign up. Now the first session is going to be the pre-challenge session. That's going to be a few days before we start the challenge. I'll tell you about the dates a little bit now, but in that session we're going to talk about everything that I've talked about now, because I have bombarded you with information, and I'm going to guide you into what you need to eat, what you need to do, what you shouldn't be doing, the eating plan rules, tips and guidance. You'll be able to ask questions. You're going to be in a position, so when you start this challenge, you know exactly what you need to do. Then in session 2, a very important session, we are going to look at the primary foods. Remember those softer issues. We're going to do a very cool activity where you analyze or evaluate your life and see what areas of your life are out of balance. Where do you need to work on? What do you need to pay attention to? It's a very powerful activity that we're going to do. We're going to talk about different stress management tools, and then also remember the one secret, finding your why. In session 2, I'm going to guide you to finding your why. And like all the other sections, you're welcome to ask questions. These sessions can be interactive, but if you're not the type of person who wants to like speaking in these workshops, it's perfectly fine if you also don't say a thing. But a lot of people enjoy being interactive in these sessions. Then in session 3 will be after the 4 weeks, the mid-challenge session. This is when we're going to talk about the reintroductions. I'm going to show you exactly how you should be doing the reintroductions. You know, remember, you've been clean for 4 weeks, and after the 4 weeks, it's time to reintroduce the food back into your diet to see how your body reacts to it. Then in session 4, another super, super, super valuable session, we're going to talk about emotional eating. You know, it's something that so many people struggle with, especially at the moment. You know, times are tough. It's winter. We've been in lockdown forever. You know, a lot of people have financial struggles. Times are tough. So in session 4, we're going to talk about emotional eating and 5 strategies that you can use in your life to basically manage emotional eating. And then the last session, session 5, I always say this is perhaps the most important session of all of the sessions. We're going to talk about life after the challenge. You know, so many eating plans or diets get it so wrong. You know, they give you the information, you do a challenge or a program for a month, for 21 days, for 8 weeks, for 3 months. And when you complete the program, it stops. You know, there's nothing. What now? You know, remember we spoke about having the journey and the destination. You've reached your destination. Now what? You know, you're all on your own, and most people return to their old ways. So in session 5, we're going to have a good quality session on life after the challenge and how to implement this as a new lifestyle, not as a diet, as a new lifestyle, and finding balance. You know, it doesn't mean that you're never going to have a birthday party or you're never going to drink those 3 glasses of wine. It's about...
I'm on Zoom.
Sorry guys, just we've got, if you guys can just quickly mute yourself. Okay. So session 5, life after the challenge. I'm almost done, guys. Okay. So the additional guides, you're going to get a shopping list, a list with all the food that you should be including in your eating plan the first 4 weeks. You're going to get meal templates. You're going to get a pocket guide on sugars. You know, the thing about sugars, it hides everywhere. Sugars in bread, sugars in tinned tomato. Sugar is absolutely everywhere in things you don't even think, and things that don't even taste sweet. And the thing about sugars is, you know, it doesn't just say sugar. There's all sorts of scientific names that's just plain and simple sugar. So that's a nice pocket guide to have. Then you're also going to get a pocket guide on artificial ingredients. Those artificial ingredients that's literally making you sick. And then there's going to be a daily journal. Now, the daily journal is completely optional, but highly recommended. In it, you're going to learn, if you do the daily journal, you're going to learn how to start paying attention to your body, how to start listening to your body, okay? Very powerful tool. And then, of course, you're going to get a life after the challenge guide, and then a self-assessment. Now, the self-assessment is such a cool tool. So how the self-assessment works. Before you start the program, you're going to do the self-assessment. It's pretty much a list of health symptoms, any health symptom you can think of. Things like constipation, diarrhea, bloated, being lethargic, hair loss, dull skin, acne, eczema, allergies, all those types of things. You're going to go through the list and you're going to give yourself a rating between 1 and 5 of how the severity and frequency of that symptoms. For instance, if you have really bad constipation every single day, you're going to give yourself a 5 for severity and a 5 for frequency. You're going to then add up your score and just keep it to the side, save it. Then, here's where the magic happens. After the first 4 weeks, you're going to do it again, and you will be so surprised with how your score changes. And then you're going to do it again after 8 weeks to see how your health, you know, I promise you will lose weight, but this is not just about weight loss. This is about those, you know, focus, about energy, about your hair, about your skin, about immunity. It's about digestion. You know, it's about so much more than just the weight you lose. About, you know, eczema, allergies. These incredible improvements that people experience when they eat clean like this. And then the last guide is, you know, a guidance on how to take those body measurements, and if you feel like it, before and after photos. It's always fun to see those photos. I know a lot of women don't like doing it. Okay. Then, like I mentioned, will be a Facebook or WhatsApp group. depending on the size of the group. You know, I'm on it on a daily basis. You will be able to ask questions. You know, I'm going to post recipe ideas. We're going to share the meals that we eat, you know, take photos of what you're eating. It's just a nice, fun community where you can just feel safe, ask questions, share ideas, and I'm constantly on that group as well. Okay, so guys, the next challenge starts Monday, the 3rd of August. So it's next Monday, the next challenge starts on Monday. And entries close on Friday, this Friday at 4 o'clock. The reason why it closes on Friday is our first session, the first group session, where we're going to talk about the pre-challenge stuff, what you need to do and not to do, happens on Friday evening at 6 o'clock. So if you want to sign up, you have to do it before Friday at 4 o'clock. By now, you would have received the email with where you can sign up, or you can use that link at the bottom, but don't worry too much. There is going to be a place for you to sign up. So before I end, I just quickly want to tell you guys, what type of results can you expect? We're going to look at a few testimonials, a nice video that Jacobi did. She recently finished the program, just to show to you the incredible results that people get. So we've done this. The Art of Undieting challenge was used as a nutritional leg for a transformation challenge. 11 people did this. Of the average loss for the 11 people was 28 centimeters in 8 weeks. That's almost the size of a ruler. The most centimeters lost by a man was 42 centimeters, by ladies 36 centimeters. Imagine losing 36 centimeters in 8 weeks. And this is not by being on a diet. This is not by starving yourself. You're not going to count calories. You're going to eat delicious, yummy food that makes you feel amazing. Okay, but more important than, you know, the centimeters that people lost, you know, I get excited about the centimeters, but I get super excited about what I call the non-scale victories. You know, people have more energy, better focus, clear and glowing skin, better hair, and people say they don't feel puffy anymore. They don't know how to explain it. It's almost you don't feel puffy anymore. Improved sinuses, allergies, huge improvement in allergies, improved digestion, no more constipation, you know, no more feeling bloated, no more indigestion, improved immunity, so important with, you know, the times we're living in at the moment. So I want to tell you a story about Jacobi and Carmen. Now, they recently completed the challenge, very recently. I think they finished a week or 2 ago. Okay, so I want to tell you, take you through their journey. So on day 10, Carmen sent me this message. I'm on day 10 of the challenge and it's going well. I've tried paleo and low carb before, but this is definitely one of the best experiences I've ever had. I feel great and healthy and my skin and sinuses have improved. I can already feel my clothes fitting better. It is great to walk out of the grocery store with bags full of vegetables at the same price as one junk food takeaway cheat meal, okay? After 10 days, she said she's feeling the difference. Her skin, sinuses have improved after only 10 days. Then on day 16, Jacobi said, it's day 16 and I have so much energy. I normally feel lethargic and unmotivated at work, and even though we're a lot busier at the moment, my energy levels have doubled since starting the program. That is super good. Day 16 and her energy levels have doubled. Day 28, this is after the first 4 weeks, Jacobi said, I've completed the first 4 weeks of the challenge and I've already lost 5.6 kgs and 32 centimeters, 13 centimeters around my hips alone. Thank you, Monica, for your guidance and support. It's the first time in years that it feels like I'm making progress without feeling discouraged by the lack of real results. That is after 4 weeks, and she still had to go another 4 weeks. Then this is a bit longer, but please bear with me. I think it's important that you understand the real impact that changing your life can have on just on your overall well-being. Carmen said on day 45, here we go again with another diet. This was my thoughts. Then we were invited to join an information session called the Art of Undieting. I'm sure I'm not the only one having thoughts like this. How will this one go? Will I eventually lose the weight? Will it work for me? Or will I quit and never reach my goal like all of the other times? I have forever been trying out different diets. Keto, low carb, detox, you name it. I have tried it. It always goes well when there is accountability involved until you don't really see the results. I'm sure I'm not the only one crashing after quitting and gaining back all the weight, and maybe even more than before. The art of undieting hit me by surprise. You don't always feel this good after 1 week with other diets, but I was still waiting for the moment where I realized that this is not going to work for me. It's been 45 days and I'm still going strong. I would never have thought that I could go without sugar for 45 days. This is a personal best for me. This plan makes it so easy. You fill up on the healthy stuff and rarely experience any cravings. And when you start seeing the results, you wish you'd started sooner. How cool is this, guys? My sinuses are so much better. I don't have any toothache anymore. I sleep better. I breathe better. I've lost 4 kilos and 27 centimeters in the first 30 days without exercising. And no one is telling me to weigh my food. This is probably the best thing I could have done for myself in a long time. For once in my life, I'm winning at reaching my weight goals, and feeling good is an added advantage. You'll quickly realize that feeling good should always be your number one goal. How powerful is that? Feeling good should always be your number one goal. Not weight loss, but feeling good. Yes, Jacobi, just a quick testimonial. We're almost finished, guys.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacobi. I wanted to give you some feedback on my progress with Monica and her program called The Art of Undieting. I've now been busy around 40 days, and apart from the physical changes I experienced in the first 30, I lost 6 kilograms and 32 centimeters. The biggest change for me is how I feel daily and my relationship with food. I used to be the person that gets the 2 p.m. slump, where I don't feel like doing anything and losing all ambition in life. Now my energy levels are a lot more stable during the day, and that slump has completely disappeared. I have always had a weird relationship with food, and I have always been an emotional eater. With this program and how easy it is, you don't have to weigh anything, you don't have to measure anything, you can still eat all the foods that you enjoy and you love, being the correct foods, obviously. That has changed my relationship with food. I don't think about food every second of every day anymore. I have my 3 meals and I can plan according to that. This program is fantastic for anybody that wants to make a physical or emotional change. If you go 100% into it, I would highly recommend it for anybody that is willing to do that. Thanks guys, have a good day, bye.
It's cool. I love these stories, you know, that if the people get absolutely incredible results. And like what Jacobi said, it's not just physical, hey, it's the emotional aspect that is super, super important. So after the 8 weeks, Carmen lost 8 kgs and 27 centimeters, and Jacobi lost 8.5 kgs and 32 centimeters. Such an incredible story. Just know I'm checking the chats. I will answer your questions just now when we're finished. Okay, so this is absolutely great value. So obviously this is not something I do for free. There is going to be a cost involved. I just quickly want to illustrate the value of a program like this. So for the membership site, to have access to that membership site with absolutely all the information, I normally charge 1,750 Rand for corporates and for fitness groups. But that doesn't include any of those workshops. For the workshops, I charge 250 Rand per person, which gives you're getting 5 workshops. It gives you a total of 1,250 Rand. So the total value of this 8-week challenge is 3,000 Rand. And I'm not even talking about, you know, the real value, where you can't really put a price to feeling fantastic, to your allergies improved, to more energy, to your skin has improved, your sinus has improved, your digestion have improved. You can't add a price to, you know, improvements in your emotional eating, you know, changes in the way you think about food, in the way you eat. You know, you cannot just simply put a price tag to it. So the total value is 3,000 Rand, but you can join the 8-week challenge now for only 997 Rand. It's a lot less than what I normally charge corporates, and then it doesn't even include any of the workshop. It is really so much value. I can promise you, you are going to completely transform the way you eat. You're going to transform the way you think about food. Okay, so here's the best thing. So you can get all of this for free by joining the referral program. So how the referral program works, it's very simple. You know, you earn 200 Rand per referral. So how this normally works out is people sign up, they do the program, they finish the 8 weeks, they look absolutely amazing, they've lost weight, they're feeling healthy, they're looking healthy, and your friends and family want to do what you've done. You simply refer your friends and family to me, and I pay you 200 Rand per referral. So if you refer 5 people and they sign up, you literally get all the money you've paid for the challenge back. If you refer 10 people, you walk away with 2,000 Rand. That is so cool. And the nice thing about the referrals is we're running an 8-week challenge every month. The first Monday of every month, we start a new challenge. So these referrals can happen indefinitely, can continue happening whenever you're ready. You simply also do not have to participate in the referral program at all, but it's completely up to you. Okay. So I'm going to end with one of my favorite quotes. Health is not about the weight you lose. It's about the life you gain. Okay, guys, thank you so much. So just a reminder, the next 8-week challenge starts on Monday, the 3rd of August. So I'm going to stop my screen share. There you go. And let's go to the chat. So I'm going to be answering the questions. You're welcome to unmute yourself, ask a question. You're welcome to put a question in the chat. I'll be going through the chat just to see what questions we are. Glenn is saying, you're so right, totally overwhelmed by all the diet choices, have just given up and gotten fat. Exactly, Glenn, there's so much noise out there, and everybody is an expert, and everybody is so passionate about what they believe in, but in the meantime, we're all different. What works for them won't necessarily work for you. Sandra is saying, my heart is sore, I've tried everything and little success, I need answers. Sandra, I encourage you to sign up. It will completely transform your life. You will figure out what your body needs. Marinda, yes, I am recording it. You will be getting a recording. I'll be sending you a few emails after this, and one of the emails are going to get, to include a recording. You're welcome to share the recording with anyone. I am also going to quickly put in a link to the sign up, but don't worry too much about it. You will be getting a link to the sign up in the email. You probably have received the email already. Okay, so we don't do any increases in September. The cost will stay 997 Rand in September. Like I said, Varashni, we do this every month. So if you're not ready to commit to it this month, you're more than welcome to join in September. I will send you a reminder email before we start the September challenge, so do not worry about that. Okay, guys, any other questions? So I think I have answered everything thus far. It's a pleasure that, I don't know if it's Dale, but if it's your husband or you, or that's your name, sorry Dale, it's a pleasure. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to stay online for a little bit if there's any more questions. If you're done, you can leave. If you don't have any questions, you're more than welcome to leave. Thank you so much for giving me just over an hour of your time. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your interest. Thank you so much for staying right till the end. And I cannot wait to start this journey with you. You know, it's super exciting times, and you know, I cannot wait. This is my bread and butter. It's super excited about people transforming their lives. So thank you so much. Okay, so another question. So Marinda, so I'm going to be sending you emails. Reply to one of the emails, and then I can send you my direct number. When you join the challenge, If the group is small enough, we are going to create a WhatsApp group. So you will always have my direct number. If you join the program, you will always have my direct cell phone number. And you can, if you don't feel comfortable asking questions in the group, you're more than welcome to send me messages. But Marinda, if you need to chat about something now, you're more than welcome to simply respond to one of the emails and I will reply with my number. Are the food to eat very expensive? Okay, good question. Are the food to eat very expensive? So here's the thing. If you stick to basics, if you buy a variety of veggies, if you have moderation, protein in moderation, it's not expensive. It literally is not expensive. Veggies is a lot cheaper than any processed meal out there. So if you keep it simple, it's not expensive. If you remember, you know, the comment that I think Carmen made, she said, it's incredible to walk out of a grocery store with bags full of veggies at the same price as one takeaway cheat meal or a McDonald's or a pizza, you know, it's the same value, you know. So if you really think about it and you compare your lifestyle, what you're doing now with how you're going to eat, it's not that expensive. If you start getting cute with this, if you want to, for instance, look at nut butters and all those things, then it starts getting expensive. But you stay with the basic. If you always fill half your plate with veggies, if you add a small portion of good quality protein, good quality fat, there you go. It is extremely, extremely, surprisingly affordable. Veggies are simply just not expensive. Okay, does that answer your question? Miane, I think. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thanks for the comment, Celeste. Karen, you're more than welcome to join again at 6 o'clock. You will also be getting a recording of the session, so you're more than welcome to watch it at your own time. I think the email with the recording will go out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so, but if you want to revisit the session, I'm doing another session at 6 o'clock this afternoon. If you want your husband or your friends or your sister or your mom to join the session, feel free to send them that link. The link that I've sent you to today's session, you can simply use it for this afternoon session as well. You're more than welcome to join me again. Okay, guys.